Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, wonderful viewers. In this video I want to quickly speak about the recent happening in the southeast, particularly in Imo State. In this video I'll be showing us it was discovered that a particular morgue in Imo State, that morgue has been used to deposit mutilated bodies. So most of the people that, especially strangers, when they are being kidnapped and their body parts mutilated or dismembered, they dump their bodies into this morgue. Policemen were able to discover this particular morgue recently in Imo State. I'm just making this video quickly to to plead with those who travel, especially during this festivity period, to be very, very careful. Make sure that you make your journey on time. Avoid anything night journey at this particular time that we are. I really pray that God will preserve us, that none of us will be victim of the evil, the happenings, the wickedness going on, especially in this particular village, this particular place in Imo State. Thank you very much. Watch this video to the end and drop your comment in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye for now.
We'll head over to Imo State now, where the police command uncovered an illegal mortuary along the Owerri-Aba Road being used for storing mutilated bodies linked to an organ harvesting ring. Over the weekend, security operatives reportedly found hundreds of decomposing and dismembered bodies inside the morgue, which has since been identified as the Ugudi Cottage Hospital and Mortuary Services. And upon inspecting the morgue, the police also uncovered a shrine belonging to the suspect named Stanley Okparugo, who is currently on the run.
We visited this place. We saw scattered corpses, mutilated corpses in this environment. What we have seen, the corpses that we discovered are more than 100. And the owner of the mortuary is on the run. We sent for him, he refused to come. And severally, we mounted surveillance, whether we'll be able to get him, he's on the run. And by the information we gathered, they use this place in dumping the corpses of what they call organ harvest. Organ harvest. And we are appealing on members of the public, whoever that have corpse here, to come forward, because His Excellency wants to unveil who and who are running this unauthorized mortuary. Because it's been in existing, it's not that we discover it. And by His grace, we arrest the suspects, and he's going to face the full wrath of the law. Thank you.
This is horrible. Well, the police command have told travelers to stay alert as we approach the holidays while reiterating their commitment to residents' safety. They've also said that, they're going to shut down that morgue at this point because of unsanitary situations. If you had seen the video, we'd seen a shrine there as well. It actually was not running as a morgue. If you had seen some of those horrific graphic images of people's bodies dismembered, and we haven't heard anything from the Imo State government as we speak. Meanwhile, there are mounting calls for the closure of Imo State Police Command's anti-kidnapping unit known as Tiger Base, following persistent allegations of torture, extortion, unlawful detention, and extrajudicial killings. The allegations center on several high-profile deaths in custody. In May, Japhet Njoku, a market security official, allegedly died after 3 months of detention over an alleged cigarette theft. His family says police demanded 4 million naira for his release while torturing him to extract a confession. Another case involves businessman Levi Okpara, a 46-year-old father of 5 who reportedly died in custody in October 2023 after his arrest over what relative described as a domestic misunderstanding with his wife. Family members claim the man was tortured and stabbed on the neck by officers, while former detainees, who have also spoken out, describe their experiences as walking through the valley of the shadow of death. One survivor, Chinonso, says she was detained for 3 months, with police refusing to release her until she confessed to crimes she didn't commit. Meanwhile, the Imo State Police Command has strongly denied the allegations. Spokesman DSP Henry Okoye dismissed the claims as false and unfounded, describing them as a smear campaign by criminal elements seeking to undermine ongoing security operations so far. I'll come to you on this story. I'd like for you to tie in both stories. First, on one hand, we see a morgue with dismembered bodies, and then we're hearing from, people in Imo State have gotten so many requests for this sort of story to be told. It's almost like the days of SARS at this point.
Absolutely. All right, so going to the first story, looking at because for the situation to have gotten this bad, there's a failure in the area of oversight. So who are the people responsible for overseeing morgues, regular inspections for morgues in states? It's a state Ministry of Health, State Ministry of Health. It is the Anatomy Council, and we also have the environmental agencies in these states. One of these agencies, or all of these agencies, have failed in this discharge of their duties, because if there had been regular inspections of these facilities, then it would have been uncovered that it was an organ harvesting, masquerading as a morgue. That's one. Number two is also there are stories around even where there's complicity, where people are able to pay their way and there's collusion, or they are able to work with these regulatory bodies or these oversight functionary bodies, and they don't actually do their work. So this is calling on the Imo State Department of Health or Ministry of Health to look into this matter, not just for the morgue in Imo State, but even across the country. We have heard, really terrible things about what happens to the dead. So in Nigeria, both the living and the dead, it was fella that sang, everybody gets a double wahala for everybody. But the truth is that we need to look into how we preserve our dead and ensure there's dignity even in death. And this is the onus of the state government. Talking about state government, it's interesting that it's the same Imo State we're talking about today. And I'm hoping that today's awareness will draw a response from them. But even beyond the response is action. We've heard of human rights abuses during the days of SARS. We know it still happens. We know that despite all the committees and panels of inquiry set up, there are still some unfinished businesses that are there. And this is part of the symptoms of such things, whereby people have authority of state or authority in one form or the other, abuse those authorities. It's a larger issue across the Nigerian institutions and systems. We've seen it in Anambra State. We talked about Ebubeagu and the Anambra State Local Security Task Force. Yes, we've seen it in many parts. So it's not just Imo State. We have to ensure that there's a respect for human life, dignity, and ensure that people do not face this kind of, degrading, humiliating, and in fact, lethal or fatal treatment in the hands of enforcers. That's what we are calling for this morning.
Very well said. Now, the stories out here. The residents in Imo State are calling for, some sort of disbandment of tiger bays in their state, because they have complained enough. And the Imo State government, we hope that there will be some sort of response. Actually, we got from the police, but we want to hear from the Imo State government. In Edo